First Contact and Revelation. The holographic display in General Sarah Chen's command center flickered with dozens of red warning indicators. She stood motionless, hands clasped behind her back, as the massive alien vessels materialized in high Earth orbit. Their arrival had bypassed every early warning system humanity had established. 17 vessels confirmed, General, reported Colonel Reeves, his voice steady despite the circumstances. Main vessel is approximately 15 kilometers in length. Energy readings are, well, they're off any scale we have. Sarah nodded, keeping her expression neutral for her staff's benefit. After 20 years leading Earth's combined defense force, she prepared for countless first contact scenarios. None had involved ships that could simply appear without warning. Status of the orbital defense grid. All platforms responding. But Reeves hesitated. The alien vessels aren't even registering as solid matter to our targeting systems. It's like they're partially phased out of our reality. Before Sarah could respond, every screen in the command center shifted to display the same image, a humanoid figure composed of swirling purple energy. When it spoke, its voice resonated directly in their minds. Children of Earth, the being said, we have returned to reclaim our investment. The wave of confusion that swept through the command center was palpable. Sarah stepped forward, activating the global communications array. Whatever this was, the world needed to hear it together. I am High Commander Vereen of the Ascended Dominion. The energy being continued. Your species exists because we created you. Humanity was engineered from your planet's primitive primate stock to serve as our perfect warriors. But you were lost to us during the Great Severance. Sarah's mind raced through the implications, the missing links in human evolution, the inexplicable technological leaps throughout history, the strange artifacts discovered in ancient ruins that defied explanation. We gave you aggression tempered by cunning, the drive to expand tempered by adaptation, the will to fight tempered by the ability to learn from defeat. Vereen's form pulsed with each declaration. You were to be our ultimate soldiers in the war against the void. Instead, you were forgotten when the dimensional barrier shifted. Screens worldwide showed historical footage, but altered to reveal previously invisible influences. Crystalline devices in ancient temples, energy fields guiding early human migrations, hidden observers watching key moments in human development. Now we have returned, Vereen declared, and we find you on the cusp of true spaceflight. Your nuclear weapons are crude, but they show promise. Your information networks are primitive, but expanding rapidly. You are nearly ready to serve your true purpose. Sarah stepped forward. And if we refuse to be your soldiers? The energy being's form condensed, becoming more humanoid. Refuse. You misunderstand, General Chen. You were created to serve. It is written into your very genes. Even now, you stand in a military command center, surrounded by weapons and warriors. You prove our success with every breath. We've grown beyond our origins, Sarah countered. Humanity is more than just soldiers now. We're artists, scientists, explorers. Yes, Vereen interrupted. You have developed in fascinating ways during our absence, which is why we will not simply activate the dormant protocols in your genetic code. Instead, we offer a choice. Join us willingly as equals, or we will remind your bodies of their true purpose. The warrior programming we installed can be reactivated at any time. The implications hit Sarah like a physical blow. Every human on Earth was carrying alien code in their DNA, waiting to be triggered. But something about Vereen's statement nagged at her tactical mind. You said equals, she noted. Why offer equality to what you consider a created weapon? The energy being's form flickered. Because the war we created you for has evolved. The void entities we once fought have become something far worse. We need warriors who can think independently, adapt, and innovate. The rigid programming we originally installed would be counterproductive. Screens worldwide showed glimpses of the war. Massive battles between energy beings and dark, twisted forms that hurt the mind to look upon. Worlds being consumed by impossible geometries. Entire solar systems used as battlegrounds. You have one planetary rotation to decide, Vareen declared. Choose to join us, and we will unlock your full potential gradually, allowing your civilization to adapt. Refuse, and we will reactivate the original combat protocols immediately. The choice between controlled evolution and forced activation is yours. The transmission ended, leaving humanity reeling. Sarah turned to her staff, seeing the same mix of fear and determination on every face. They were soldiers, yes, but they were also humans who had chosen to serve, not beings programmed for war. "Get me the Security Council," she ordered, "and contact every research facility studying ancient artifacts. I want to know everything about our hidden history before we make this choice." As her staff scrambled to comply, Sarah stared at the massive ships looming above Earth. They had less than 24 hours to decide humanity's fate, but perhaps their ancestors had left them more than just weapons in war. Perhaps in all those ancient sites, they had also left a way to break free of their creator's control. The next day would determine whether humanity would be soldiers in someone else's war, or if they could forge their own destiny among the stars. The real question, Sarah realized, wasn't whether humanity would fight. That seemed inevitable now. The question was, who would they be fighting for? As night fell across Earth, billions of humans looked up at the alien ships, unaware that their very bodies were ticking down to a deadline that would change everything. In hidden chambers beneath ancient monuments, long dormant machines began to pulse with energy. Humanity's true history was about to catch up with them, ready or not. In her command center, Sarah Chen made a decision. Humanity had grown beyond its original purpose. Whatever came next, they would face it on their own terms. She began drafting orders for Operation Legacy Freedom, a plan she created for the darkest possible first contact scenario. She never imagined she'd be using it to free humanity from its own creators. The war for human independence was about to begin. The testing begins. General Chen watched the massive holographic display as thousands of small objects detached from the alien vessels. The crystalline probes descended through Earth's atmosphere, ignoring all attempts at interception. Multiple insertion points detected, Colonel Reeves reported, his fingers dancing across the tactical display. They're targeting every major population center worldwide. Before Sarah could respond, the probes burst into clouds of shimmering particles that rained down over cities across the globe. As the particles touched human skin, they dissolved, leaving no trace except a subtle iridescent sheen that faded within seconds. Partial genetic activation initiated. Vareen's voice echoed through the command center. Consider this a demonstration of what awaits you. The first reports began flooding in within minutes. In New York, a firefighter lifted a collapsed concrete beam that should have been impossible for any human to move. In Tokyo, a young student solved complex mathematical equations faster than supercomputers. In Lagos, a doctor suddenly knew exactly what was wrong with her patients just by looking at them. "What have you done?" Sarah demanded, knowing the alien commander could hear her. "We have awakened approximately 5% of your dormant capabilities," Vareen replied. "A taste of what awaits those who join us willingly." But the demonstration quickly proved more complex than the aliens had anticipated. For every human who manifested enhanced strength or intelligence, others experienced different changes. Some reported seeing through walls, while others developed an intuitive understanding of technology that bordered on the supernatural. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, heading the newly formed Human Enhancement Analysis Team, discovered something stunning. The changes weren't random. They were adapting to each individual's natural talents and desires. "It's like the alien genetic programming is learning from us," she explained during an emergency UN session. "Instead of forcing us into predetermined warrior roles, it's enhancing what's already there." The implications were staggering. The aliens hadn't just created super soldiers, they'd created beings capable of exponential self-directed evolution. But with the changes came chaos. Governments struggled to maintain order as people discovered abilities they couldn't control. Markets crashed as enhanced individuals disrupted entire industries overnight. Religious leaders declared it either divine intervention or demonic influence. Sarah Chen saw something else: opportunity. Every enhanced human was providing data on how the alien genetic modifications worked, data that might help humanity understand, and possibly control, their own transformation. "They're not just testing our abilities," she told her senior staff. "They're testing our society, how we adapt, how we handle change." Her theory proved correct when the aliens introduced the second phase. Massive dome-like structures materialized over select cities, cutting them off from the outside world. Inside these testing grounds, enhanced humans faced increasingly complex challenges, but humanity proved more resourceful than their creators expected. Instead of competing, isolated communities formed networks of mutual support. Enhanced individuals worked together, combining their new abilities in ways the aliens hadn't predicted. In London's Dome, a group of enhanced engineers and artists collaborated to create beautiful, impossible structures that solved housing and transportation problems simultaneously. In Mumbai, enhanced healers and technologists developed hybrid medical treatments that blended ancient wisdom with futuristic biotechnology. Sarah Chen watched it all from her command center, now transformed into humanity's primary response hub. The aliens had expected their demonstration to make humanity eager for full activation. Instead, it had sparked a revolution in human cooperation and innovation. "They don't understand what they created," she told Dr. Rodriguez during a late-night strategy session. "They engineered us to be warriors, but they gave us the ability to choose what to fight for." But time was running out. The alien deadline approached, and despite humanity's impressive adaptation, they were still hopelessly outgunned. The Ascended Dominion's fleet could destroy Earth's civilization with ease. Then Dr. Rodriguez made a breakthrough. Analyzing data from enhanced individuals worldwide, she discovered something the aliens had missed. The genetic modifications weren't just changing humans. They were changing in response to human choices. "We're not just adapting to the programming," she explained. "The programming is adapting to us, and in some cases, we're rewriting it entirely." As if in response to this discovery, the ancient sites that had been pulsing with energy since the aliens' arrival suddenly changed their patterns. The aliens had hidden their technology in Earth's monuments, but after millennia of exposure to human civilization, that technology had started to change. Sarah Chen looked at the latest satellite imagery of the alien fleet. They were arranging themselves in attack formation, clearly prepared to force activation if humanity refused their offer. But now, humanity had a third option, one their creators had never imagined possible. The question was whether they could implement it before the deadline expired. As enhanced humans worldwide continued to evolve in unexpected ways, the clock ticked down to humanity's moment of choice. But perhaps Sarah realized the most important choice had already been made, not by the aliens who created them, but by countless humans who chose to use their new abilities to help rather than harm. The real test wasn't of humanity's warrior capabilities. It was of their capacity to transcend their programming and become something entirely new. Evolution unleashed. As the alien deadline approached its final hours, something unexpected began to happen in cities worldwide. The enhanced humans weren't just maintaining their new abilities. They were evolving beyond them. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's monitoring stations detected the first sign: brainwave patterns that synchronized across continents. Enhanced humans were developing a form of collective consciousness, but not the rigid hive mind their creators had intended. This was something organic, voluntary, and uniquely human. "It's like a global neural network," she explained to General Chen, "but everyone maintains their individuality. They're sharing knowledge and abilities while keeping their personal identity intact." The aliens noticed too. Their massive ships shifted position, energy readings spiking as they observed this unprecedented development. High Commander Varine's voice echoed across Earth's communications networks, carrying an edge of confusion. Impossible. The genetic protocols should be creating unified combat units, not this. In New Delhi, a group of enhanced children demonstrated the ability to manifest their thoughts as tangible holograms. In Rio de Janeiro, enhanced artists created sculptures that responded to emotions. In Cairo, historians touched ancient stones and experienced the memories stored within them. But the most significant change occurred in the relationships between enhanced and non-enhanced humans. Instead of creating division, the transformed individuals found ways to share their abilities. An enhanced teacher in Seoul discovered she could temporarily extend her enhanced intelligence to her students. An enhanced healer in Nairobi learned to amplify the natural healing abilities in others. They engineered us to be warriors, Sarah Chen observed, watching the global developments. But they forgot that humans have always been best at fighting for each other, not just against enemies. The alien response was swift and aggressive. The testing domes intensified their challenges, pushing enhanced humans to their limits. But each challenge only accelerated the unexpected evolution. Humans didn't just solve the problems, they transformed them. In the London Dome, when faced with a simulated invasion, the enhanced inhabitants created a peaceful resolution by developing instantaneous universal translation. In Sydney, a lethal environmental challenge was turned into a breakthrough in ecological restoration. Dr. Rodriguez's team made another crucial discovery. The ancient sites weren't just awakening. They were responding to human evolution. The alien technology hidden within Earth's monuments had been exposed to human culture, art, and emotion for thousands of years. It had changed, just as humanity had changed. The sites aren't weapons anymore, she reported. They're more like amplifiers. They're strengthening our natural evolution, not the programmed one. This revelation coincided with a new phenomenon. Enhanced humans began reporting visions, not of battle strategies or warrior protocols, but of Earth's true history. They saw how their ancestors had subtly resisted the genetic programming, turning the drive for conquest into exploration, transforming battle skills into art forms, using tactical thinking to advance science and medicine. Sarah Chen gathered world leaders for an emergency session. The alien deadline was hours away, but humanity had uncovered a truth their creators had never suspected. The warrior genes hadn't dominated human evolution. They had been absorbed and transformed by humanity's greater qualities. We were never just weapons, she declared. We were a possibility they couldn't imagine. And now we have a choice to make. As she spoke, enhanced humans worldwide began gathering at the ancient sites. They weren't responding to any command. It was an intuitive movement, a collective recognition of what needed to be done. The alien technology in these monuments had watched humanity grow for millennia. Now it would help them take their next step. In orbit, the Ascended Dominion's fleet detected the rising energy signatures. High Commander Varine's voice carried genuine alarm. What are you doing? This is not part of your programming. But humanity had moved beyond programming. The enhanced humans at each site formed connections, not just with each other, but with the very earth beneath their feet. The warrior protocols meant to create perfect soldiers had instead created perfect bridges between human potential and the universe itself. The ancient sites blazed with light visible from space. Enhanced humans worldwide felt their consciousness expand, touching minds across continents, reaching into the Earth's deep history, and extending toward the stars. They weren't becoming the warriors they were designed to be. They were becoming what they had always had the potential to be. As the deadline for humanity's choice approached, Sarah Chen smiled. The aliens had given them two options: submit to full activation or face forced compliance. But humanity, as it had done so many times throughout history, was about to present a third alternative. The real evolution wasn't in their enhanced abilities or awakened genes. It was in their choice to transform what was meant to enslave them into a tool for liberation. Humanity hadn't just adapted to their genetic heritage. They had transcended it. The next few hours would determine not just Earth's fate, but the very definition of what it meant to be human. And as the ancient sites pulsed with power, as enhanced humans worldwide joined in unprecedented harmony, as the alien fleet prepared for either submission or confrontation, humanity prepared to show their creators exactly what they had actually created. The war for human destiny was about to take a turn no one, not even their makers, could have predicted. The Greater War. The ancient sites erupted with pillars of light that pierced the clouds, connecting Earth to the alien fleet above. But instead of the weapon activation Vareen expected, something entirely different occurred. Every enhanced human on Earth simultaneously transmitted their collected experiences, memories, and emotions to the ascended Dominion ships. You wanted warriors. Sarah Chen's voice carried across all frequencies. Look at what you actually created. The alien fleet reeled under the assault, not of weapons, but of human consciousness. Millennia of art, music, literature, scientific discovery, and most importantly, human connection flooded their neural networks. They experienced Earth's history not as a progression of battles, but as a tapestry of creation, innovation, and resilience. Then, through this connection, humanity received something unexpected, the true history of their creators. The Ascended Dominion hadn't engineered humans purely for war. They had been desperate. A force known as the Void Collective was consuming entire galaxies, transforming all life into mindless extensions of its hive consciousness. The Dominion needed warriors who could resist such assimilation, beings capable of maintaining individuality even in perfect unity. You weren't just meant to fight. Vareen's voice carried a new understanding. You were meant to show us another way. But this revelation came with a price. The Void Collective, sensing the awakening of Earth's potential, had turned its attention to the solar system. Massive dark shapes began materializing at the edge of space, defying known physics and radiating otherworldly energy. Dr. Rodriguez's instruments detected their approach. They're unlike anything in our databases. Not even the alien fleet's weapons seem effective against them. The void entities attacked without warning. They didn't target Earth's military installations or population centers. Instead, they struck at the connection points between human consciousness, attempting to shatter the very unity humanity had achieved. But humanity's response defied both their creators and their attackers' expectations. Enhanced humans worldwide didn't try to fight the void entities directly. Instead, they deepened their connections, not just with each other, but with Earth itself. The ancient sites, transformed by millennia of human influence, became conduits for something the Void Collective had never encountered: collective creativity. Enhanced artists worldwide channeled their abilities through the sites, creating defenses that weren't weapons, but rather expressions of human imagination. In Egypt, the Great Pyramid projected a barrier made of crystallized music. In Mexico, Mayan temples generated fields of living art that the void entities couldn't comprehend. At Stonehenge, enhanced poets wove words into a shield that protected the entire British Isles. The Ascended Dominion watched in amazement as their created weapons transformed the battlefield into something entirely new. The void entities, designed to consume and assimilate all they encountered, found themselves unable to process the sheer diversity and interconnectedness of human consciousness. Don't you understand? Sarah Chen broadcasted to both aliens and defenders. You created us to be warriors, but humanity's greatest strength has never been in destruction. It's in creation, in connection, in transformation. As she spoke, enhanced humans worldwide began combining their abilities in ways that transcended the aliens' genetic programming. Scientists merged consciousness with artists to create defensive systems that operated on principles neither science nor art alone could achieve. Historians and futurists joined minds to find patterns in time itself, predicting and countering the void entities' attacks before they occurred. The Void Collective, facing resistance it couldn't assimilate, changed tactics. It offered humanity a choice: join willingly and exist as perfect, unified consciousness, freed from the chaos of individuality. The response came not from Earth's leaders or the enhanced humans, but from children worldwide. In every country, on every continent, they began to sing. The song carried no words, but it carried everything that made humanity unique: their hopes, fears, dreams, and most importantly, their choice to remain beautifully, chaotically human. The song rose through the ancient sites, amplified by the enhanced humans' abilities, transformed by the alien technology that had watched humanity grow. It reached into space, touching both the Ascended Dominion's fleet and the void entities. In that moment, the true power of what humanity had become was revealed. They were neither the perfect warriors their creators had intended nor the unified consciousness the void desired. They were something new, beings capable of perfect unity while maintaining perfect individuality, of fighting without destruction, of changing while remaining true to themselves. The void entities began to retreat, not from any weapon, but from the impossibility of assimilating something that was simultaneously one and many, unified and diverse, structured and chaotic. As humanity's song echoed through space, the Ascended Dominion received their final lesson from their created weapons. The greatest defense against obliteration wasn't superior firepower or perfect unity. It was the capacity to continuously evolve, to transform without losing oneself, to connect without surrendering individuality. The war wasn't over, but its nature had fundamentally changed. And as the void entities withdrew to reconsider their approach, humanity prepared for what would come next. They had proven themselves to be more than weapons, more than warriors, more than even their creators had imagined. The real question now was, what would they choose to become? Humanity's choice. In the aftermath of the Void Collective's retreat, Earth hung suspended between two destinies. The Ascended Dominion's fleet remained in orbit, their original purpose transformed by humanity's unexpected evolution. Below, billions of enhanced humans pondered the path forward, their newfound abilities still growing, still changing. High Commander Varine materialized in the United Nations General Assembly, no longer as a being of pure energy, but in a form that bridged the gap between human and ascended. You have surpassed every parameter of your original design, they addressed the gathered leaders. Now you must choose your role in the greater galaxy. Dr. Rodriguez, her consciousness now able to process multiple dimensions of reality, detected something in Varine's energy signature. You're not just offering us a choice, she realized. Your hoping will show you a new way forward. The truth emerged. The Ascended Dominion had reached an evolutionary dead end. In pursuing transcendence, they had lost something essential: the chaos and creativity that made growth possible. They had created humanity as weapons, but found instead a mirror of their own forgotten potential. Sarah Chen, standing before the assembly, understood the historical weight of this moment. We were engineered to be perfect warriors, she began, her words carrying to every enhanced mind on Earth. But humanity has never achieved greatness through perfection. Our strength lies in our imperfection, our constant striving to be better while remaining true to who we are. The ancient sites, now fully awakened, pulsed with a new kind of energy. They had become more than monuments or weapons. They were bridges between Earth's past and humanity's possible futures. Through them, every human could sense the crossroads they faced. One path led to joining the Ascended Dominion as their new protectors, using their unique abilities to defend against the void. Another offered isolation, turning Earth into a fortress while humanity continued its independent evolution. But there was a third way, one that emerged from humanity's transformed consciousness. We choose partnership, Sarah declared, not as weapons or warriors, but as teachers and students both. We'll share what we've learned about evolution through diversity, about strength through connection, about fighting not through destruction but through creation. The response rippled through the collective consciousness of enhanced humanity. Agreement came not through votes or declarations, but through a resonance of shared purpose. They would neither rule nor serve, neither isolate nor submit. They would transform the very nature of galactic civilization, just as they had transformed their own genetic programming. Children worldwide began drawing impossible pictures, visions of future cities where human and alien consciousness merged and separated freely, where art and science blended, where the boundaries between individual and community became fluid without being lost. Enhanced architects and dreamers began turning these visions into blueprints for a new reality. The Ascended Dominion, witnessing this transformation, made their own choice. They would learn from their created weapons, not how to fight, but how to grow. The genetic programming they had planted in humanity had evolved into something far more valuable, a template for continuous renewal and reinvention. But the Void Collective remained a threat, lurking at the edges of known space. Humanity's response was characteristic of their new nature. They didn't build weapons or fortresses. Instead, they began broadcasting Earth's artistic and cultural heritage into the void. Symphony orchestras played to the stars. Poets launched their verses into space. Children's laughter echoed between worlds. "We're not fighting the void," Dr. Rodriguez explained to a concerned Farine. "We're filling it. Every story, every song, every act of creation pushes back the emptiness." The ancient sites, responding to this new purpose, began transforming themselves. The pyramids became transmitters of human consciousness. Stonehenge transformed into a nexus of cultural exchange. The entire planet was becoming something unprecedented, not a fortress or a weapon, but a beacon. Sarah Chen, watching humanity step into this new role, understood finally what they had really been engineered for. Not to fight wars, but to prevent them. Not to destroy, but to create. Not to conquer, but to transform. As the first enhanced human ambassadors prepared to leave Earth, as alien civilizations began arriving to learn and share, as the galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath in anticipation, humanity faced not an ending but a beginning. They had been created as weapons in a war for control. They had chosen to become instruments of change instead. And in that choice lay the seeds of a transformation that would reshape not just their own destiny, but the future of all conscious life in the galaxy. The war they had been created to fight was over. The peace they had chosen to build was just beginning.